Well, after yesterday, we want to pick it up a little bit, even though we did do, I would say, the bare minimum. We are clinging on in one competition, and of course, we really did it late on in the other one. It's really impressed me. If you haven't seen that one, you should have watched it by now, because it's getting spoiled straight away. As yes guys, the chase is still on as welcome back to the Hartlepool United career mode on FIFA 22. Episode number 8 I think this is, or maybe 9, maybe I'm wrong. Hats off at the moment, it's right here. Don't want to mess this absolutely horrific haircut up as today. Of course, if you haven't heard of what I meant to say is if you haven't seen the last video, make sure you go watch that one before this one. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel down below with the notification bell on as well, with the links in the descriptions followed. And once you've liked the video as well as that, and you've watched the last one, you're up to date for this one. As spoilers straight away, we are 10th in the league. Now, I have moved forward to Leicester. This is the second time I'm recording this video, so a little, 3 days has passed, 3 simulated days. And yeah, we are still in 10th, even though the other teams have played their games in hand, like Everton and like Aston Villa. As I have promoted one player to the first team as well. We promoted this guy, Albert Chandler, a centre-back from the academy. 72 rated, no, 66 rated, 73 pace, 85 shooting, or 85 physical. Not shooting as a centre-back, Max, come on. I've already recorded this video. You can tell I'm a little bit drained as we're going to go to the calendar. We have Leicester up first, away from home, on a little bit of bad form here in February. Want to get that game down to a T. Want to get revenge on the Foxes, as after that we have Coventry in the FA Cup 5th round, which I think is the quarterfinals. We'll have to double check on that. It might not be actually. As then Liverpool at home after that, which we will play, and then Villa and Everton simmed, depending on how the FA Cup game goes. Because I think the FA Cup game's threaded through on like the 14th or 15th. I'm not too sure. We'll play it by ear. Yes, this is the not quarterfinals, the one before the quarterfinals. You can see the team's still in it. On this page, there is no one really big. Leicester, of course, are in second this season. They're in this side of the table. On that side, there is Liverpool and Manchester City, but no Tottenham, no Arsenal, no Man United, no Chelsea. We've got a bigger shot than last season if we don't bump into the one of the big clubs. If we get past Coventry, that is, of course, because Coventry not going to, of course, sit down and let it go past. As Albert Chandler, I was impressed, son. That's why you've been promoted to the first team. Of course, Duarte and Niamase leaving next season to Gladbach and Newcastle. So you can see the reason I've promoted another youth centre-back. As this is the team for Leicester. First up, we have Freddie Woodman in goal. Kijana at left wing, or right wing back. Major, Staunton, Knight and Clifford, of course, having to be the makeshift left wing back. Was his position before anyway. With McCalmont, Beltran and Chukwuemeka in the midfield. Gutierrez and Tamas up front, who are the best partnership in the league at the moment. Skip to this page, you can see 13 goals for Kiss and 12 for Gutierrez. A little rivalry maybe in between them for who can score the most, but together 25 goals. Absolutely superior. And Leicester's team is Jordan Pickford in goal, Lucas Klosterman, Lacroix, Saka in centre-back with Gvardiol, Ndidi and Souček, Firpo, Leshabella and Gaia, with Osimhen up front from Chelsea. What a rotated team. Kovalevsky benched, Mendy, Tammy Abraham on that bench, Dembele. It's a good Leicester team. And Leicester are going to start off with the ball right here as Junior Firpo has it through. We've ran past him too quickly and Woodman had to save that. Looks like it were going to sneak past him at the near post, but for once he saves it at that position. As Souček with a short corner to the centre-back Saka. Really don't understand that choice from Brendan Rodgers, playing him in the back four as Gvardiol with the hit. Major with the block. Osimhen, he's tried to be seen out, but we can't really do that. Leshabella has the run at the edge of the box, but he's duped us in the middle to Gvardiol. And the left back opens the scoring for Leicester. Again, the curse against the Foxes is here. We are 1-0 down at the King Power. Really a team I do struggle against, the Foxes. Look at this. Turns inside Leicester, completely duped. And this time the near post is successful for them. Woodman goes to ground a little bit too easily and just blasted home. Poor stuff as Gutierrez around the corner onto Chukwuemeka. What can Carney do? We're trying to get back into this game right now. And Carney Chukwuemeka back to Kijana Hoover. Edge of the box. Fran Beltran. Tamaskis. This is a good move. McCalmont, get it out of your feet. He tried to do it and he took a shot on as we have won a corner here off Lucas Klosterman. Clifford to whip this in. Tamas. Looks like it was one underneath it, which he should not really be, as McCalmont again goes for another crack. All about trying to get back into this game now as Lucas Klosterman out wide. Jukes is a bit. Beltran. How late was that penalty given? I thought it was handball, but that was a very, very late decision from the referee. He waited till the move was gone a little bit, and yeah, Beltran, the guilty man, back in the team now. Baker's gone and disappoints right there as it's Osimhen against Freddie Woodman. And he goes to the left-hand side with a little dink. It is 2-0 Leicester. It is a complete collapse. The league form's falling off a cliff. Not good enough. We're letting these fans down big time. Osimhen just puts it in the side netting. And it's going to be the same as last season, isn't it? Chasing the top 6 at the end of the season and we're going to bottle it. Because this ain't good enough. And Tamas Kiss with the ball right here. And you see, that just sums the game up. We can't get one pass off. One pass we cannot succeed with. Because Leicester are all over us like a rash. They are everywhere on the field. Every player is battling. And we're just not, as Chukwuemeka. Look at that. We can't even pass it to his own centre-back backwards. As Chukwuemeka does eventually get that back and needed to do. Still can't get it through. Lesha with the block onto Jose Gaya, a left back. That's why they're doing well. They've got 2 left backs on wing. As it looks like at the break, it will be 2-0. I want to make it 2-1, but Wilfred Ndidi in the way. Lesha onto Junior Firpo. Now Klosterman trying to get back a little bit and defend. Got everybody back. Staunton's come a little bit of a long way. Lesha with a shot. Easy save for Woodman, but we need to get going if we're going to get something in this last little minute. Kai Clifford, we've actually succeeded with a pass, but the whistle goes after that as it is 2-0 Leicester at the break. Horrific stuff from us. I'm really not impressed. And yeah, we need to try and recover this, ideally. Beltran across to Josh Knight right here as Clifford receives it. And need to try and find a pass through the middle right there. Get this passing flowing and we might stand a chance in this second half as Chukwuemeka finds Kijana out wide. He's onside. That's a ball into Fran Beltran, who headers it in. How has the small man done that? I have no idea, but we are back into this game at the start of the second half. Fran Beltran in the midfield. That's his first goal he scored in-game for us in a while, isn't it? But he receives it at the back post, headers it in, Pickford spills it. Game on, 2-1. Very impressed with how that one slipped in. So, let's try and get back into this in the second half, shall we? Beltran with a dodgy loose touch though. And Matt O'Reilly has come on for Chukwuemeka, who I didn't think had the impact we were hoping he would. He should have scored early on. And Clifford, whoa, gets away from that sliding challenge. Beltran, get that pass forward to O'Reilly. Here we go. Gutierrez is kind of through in the middle. Can he hold this up for Tamas? That's a bad tackle. And indeed, he's got away with it. Very, very rough. I don't know how he's got away with it, as they've got a chance from it as well. Lesha onto Ndidi at the edge of the box. Beltran, he's having the game of his life today, as Gutierrez is coming off soon, and Tamas should have squeezed that ball through. Now it's chance for them to actually attack again. Junior Firpo round the corner onto Lucas Klosterman, and he's decided to just run out of play. And Pedro now on the field as Alfie McCalmont. He's had a lot of the ball this game. Would have liked him to do a little bit more with it, as Matt O'Reilly with a good turnout. Tamas. Now Pedro's running in behind, and we've got the man around us in Fran Beltran again, who scores the second. He's got a brace as the Mexican, the defensive midfielder, back in the team because Baker has left, and he has scored 2 in-game. I don't think he's ever scored 1 in-game, if that, for us before. Doing the worm. Amazing. What a goal from him as well. What a run it was. And we have salvaged at least a point at the moment. Hopefully, as it is a good finish into that bottom corner from the Mexican. 2-2. Redemption arc of a second half as we've made a change. Kai Clifford is now at right wing back. Hoover is absolutely shattered, so Max Clark's had to come on as please don't bottle it in the defence. There we go. Beltran in the way as Matt O'Reilly goes back to Clifford. Can we even try and win this game? I mean, we've been so much better than Leicester in this second half at least, as Tamas gets this ball right here. Don't know where he's going with it. As Beltran in the middle. We've still got it right here. And Matt O'Reilly. Clifford making his run way too quick. Beltran into McCalmont. Tamas hasn't had an impact in this game so far, but can get it out wide. We've got Pedro in the middle. Oh, and it just went into him, but he just misjudged the swing as Dembele's on. And that is our throw-in. We're keeping the pressure on Leicester at the end of this game. Max Clark through the middle of the park. Now onto Beltran. Pedro trying to make a move. Out to Alfie McCalmont. Passed in. Tamas trying to get an angle, but tackled by Ndidi. And he has had a poor game as Tamas today. And it is a 2-2 draw with Leicester. After a shocking first half, I'll take that second half. A point against second place in the league. Not the worst thing to happen. Very impressed with the salvage job. But still, I mean, after that before the first half, I was hoping for 3 points completely to get us back on form. But it's not happened. We're going to a fresh new month, though, with a fresh new mindset, and Coventry City in the FA Cup first. As this is going to be the team that we are playing for, Coventry. Rotations, and I'd say it's maybe a little bit weaker than before, but we're going to go with it. Okonkwo is in goal, hoping to keep playing by keep going in this competition, of course. With Hoover playing, we gave him a rest so he'd be fit for this, because I just don't trust Angus. Don't know why, but Bateman I'm going to trust. He's asked to play, and yeah, I'm going to give Major a rest with Staunton and Knight still in the defence, and Clifford still at left wing back with Matt O'Reilly through the midfield, McCalmont and Jensen Haywood, who's unhappy. Don't want him unhappy, want him playing and want him growing, with Pedro up front and Tamas, who were just the two that ended the Leicester game. So hopefully they can start this one where they finished in a good team performance. And Coventry City's team that travelled to the Memorial. Bilson in goal, Jack Burrows, Declan Drysdale, Josh Pask, Aidan Beaumont and Ian Matson in the defence, with Gustavo Hamer, Ben Sheaf and Callum O'Hare. Still a very strong midfield and strong attack. Gyökeres is a good player, and Tavares must have come through the academy a bit. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if he's actually an academy player or not, as it looks like Coventry going for the high press on us. We've just got to try and play around that then, don't we? We did actually draw that game in the second half by taking control of possession, which is rare to me. We actually had more of the ball, as we're going to maybe try that here, but Matt O'Reilly says no. Unlucky on that occasion, as now Jensen Haywood into Kijana through the middle. Pedro holds his run up a little bit. Tamas Kiss over the top. O'Reilly tries to get an option off, but Coventry defending very well. They must have done to get to the fifth round, as it's now onto O'Reilly again. And Bilson with a good save. That was a good hit from Matt O'Reilly. And now we do have Pedro in the box. It's been a long time since he scored a header. He does do it in these cup games. Falls to Staunton. Into Tamas through bodies to the keeper. Unlucky right there, but still we do have the ball. Pedro, O'Reilly. That's a good run round the side from Clifford. Off the back of a hat-trick in this competition. Or not off the back, but has got a hat-trick in it. As Pedro lays this off for Jensen Haywood, who blasts it. And apparently it's hit the hand of Josh Pask. I do not think that's the case. I think we've been gifted a penalty here for free. VAR in the FA Cup. Let's see it. Is it a penalty? Not for me. It just hits his hand naturally, as Kai Clifford has been taking the penalties in this competition. But I want to give Pedro a confidence boost. So let's put him on the spot kick. Bottom left. And he does not fail. 1-0 in this domination against Coventry. A brilliant start to this game. And the never say die attitude of the pool is here again. We should be going through to the quarterfinals the way we've started this game. Got to keep it up after this penalty. As Coventry, after our goal though, offer a chance of their own. Gyökeres tests Okonkwo. Now that is a surprise for me. I thought we'd been utterly dominant, but they just squeezed through, as that corner is a very disappointing one. Alfie McCalmont is going to try and quickly break away here. Can he get that pass forward? He can. Tamas Kiss has Haywood next to him. Doesn't really have pace, does the youngster, so we'll hold it up a bit. But O'Reilly again. Some of his passing's been shocking. As it's almost half time here, we still do have our 1-0 lead, and Tavares Coventry actually grown into this a little bit after the penalty. Come on, Hoover, deal with that. As it hit Matheson, yes it did. Just whack this forward. Don't want them putting the pressure on us at the end of this first half, so get it out. And Pedro, the big man, how's he not winning that? I'll never know. I thought his confidence would be up after, of course, depositing the penalty into the bottom corner, but it is 1-0 at half-time. No changes to be made because it's still quite an even game, and this tie is far from over. We must try and be careful as Tavares, over the top, easily dealt with. Matt O'Reilly across. Ezra Bateman. Now Kijana, who's going to squeeze that through that gap onto Pedro. Forward again. Tamas Kiss. Look how many defenders they've got back. They do play a 5 at the back formation like us, but still, we know how to push players forward as Matt O'Reilly. I think Clifford might just be off, and he is, as a change has been made by them, and Ben Sheaf wins the ball off Kai Clifford far up the field. Not a good place for our wing-back to lose the ball as O'Hare into Burrows. Jack Burrows is one of the centre-backs, isn't he? As Sheaf again, now into O'Hare. He's got an option in the middle. It's Barreiro who's come off the bench. We know how capable he is of scoring, should I say, as Gyökeres in the middle. And Okonkwo spilt it into the back of his own net. Should have been a save, but Coventry City back in it. 1-1. Now at home. Championship side are going to give us a scare, I think, or maybe even more, because the game is level. Brilliant cross from Ian Matson. And Okonkwo, you've got to be tapping that round your post. That calls for a substitution. Jensen Hayward stays on. Matt O'Reilly is going to come off for Chukwuemeka because he hasn't had the best of games, I would say. Definitely not. So, yeah, the rotational player comes off, and Chukwuemeka's on the verge of being rotational. He needs to improve his performances anyway. As let's keep this ball. Let's try and create a chance straight away, shall we? Pedro out to Kai Clifford. Pass back in, let's get quick with this, but Pedro, don't give it to him. Kinda lucky the scoreline is what it is, because we of course have scored a penalty, and Pedro not playing well after doing so, as Clifford making a run though. Has he got any support from anyone back here? Not really, so he's going to have to go in himself. Onto McCalmont, Tamaskis round to Jensen Hayward! Just over the bar. And of course with the league in mind next time, we've had to make another change. We've took Tamaskis off. Want him against Liverpool, the hat-trick hero last time out. So Gutierrez is going to come on with Pedro. Don't know their partnership level, so let's see how they do, as Coventry do have the ball here with 15 minutes to go in our final third. Don't like this, and they've sent Kai Clifford. Really good work from the Sky Blues right here. What is this guy doing though? How can I not tackle him? As we finally do, and Burrows still manages to get the ball back into Barreiro. Burrows with across the edge of the box. Sheaf, O'Hare overhead. Easy for Okonkwo. And Kijana Hoover with a pass off to Pedro right here. Really don't fancy a replay with the congested fixture list we have and how we're trying to push for, of course, playing higher up in the league, as that's a good interception from Pedro. Jensen Hayward was making the run, but we could not find him with that ball. And it really does look like it might be a 1-1 draw here. Burrows, I'm going to go attacking as well. I'm going to risk it because I do not want a replay, as Coventry making a move. Staunton got a foot on that. Still tackled. Ezra Bateman hasn't had a bad game, you know, the 67 rated player. Maybe his potential hasn't done him justice, as Pedro. Let's counter-attack right here, shall we? Kijana on the move. Can he try and find someone in the middle? What a poor pass it is, and that's going to be the game, isn't it? It's going to be the level draw. However, we do get the ball back. Gutierrez, can he shoot? He puts it over. And it will be a draw, or is it extra time? I'm sure the commentary's just said extra time, which I do not expect. And yes, resume match. It's going to extra time. Did not expect this, as Callum O'Hare over the top. Coventry, I think, have the fitter team, you know, going into this break, because we've just played before this against, of course, Leicester City, and we had to dig deep for that point. As can we try and do it in extra time? Don't fancy penalty shootout. That's just a 50-50 risk, as Gutierrez has a man around the outside of him, but Pedro making inward roads. Gutierrez, get there. Swung but didn't hit it. Really surprised this has gone to penalties as well. I did think it was a replay in the FA Cup, but maybe they've scrapped the replays at this stage, who knows, not me, as Callum O'Hare tackled by Staunton with the pass up to Gyökeres. I think he's still on the field anyway. He's been very good as Victor Gyökeres, as we need to keep the ball right here. That's a handball, thank you. And the first half of extra time straight away over, as I've made one change as well. It didn't go through in that half, but I've put Yavis Basui in midfield for Hayward, who was absolutely shattered. And the prospect of penalties, better to have a striker on. Just had to change the role to Cam, and because he's a centre forward, he can kind of play there as Pedro. Out wide to Dior Angus. He came on for Hoover as well, I should have mentioned. As Basui. Let's try and win it in extra time, shall we? Bad tackle. Free kick on the edge of the box with Kai Clifford stood over this one. Does he have the best free kicks? No, Alfie McCalmont has better. Can he be the hero right here in this cup tie? Just at the side of the post. Maybe a bit too far, but we'll try and sneak that one in, as it's easy for Bilson. Not really good enough from us, as we keep the ball still. Utter domination. Still pushing for this winner. I don't want penalties. You guys might do for, you know, the entertainment factor, but I'm not about that in this game. I'm about fitness. I'm about getting through to the next round, and Alfie McCalmont's going to strike and hit the post behind the net. And I think that was the chance, as Coventry do have the ball right here. Chukwuemeka. Oh, Little's got past him. It's the last minute, or it's past the last minute. It's Chukwuemeka with the block. And it's the penalty. Dreaded penalty kick, should I say. I'm adding the word dreaded on because I'm not looking forward to this. Coventry have done alright for themselves in possession. We do have the better penalty takers, but it's all a risk when it goes to a penalty shootout. Gutierrez to start off with. I'm going to go to my favourite top corner, which hopefully works, and only just. As Gustavo Hamer against Okonkwo. Not being good in the game, Okonkwo, but they have missed their first penalty, Coventry. Pedro now scored in the bottom corner in normal time. He's going to go for that again. And he's hit the post. It's actually level. How surprising. Barreiro moved too far to the side, as it's level now in penalty kicks. Chukwuemeka up next. Bottom right seals the deal. We hold the advantage. Callum O'Hare is up next, and he's going to the right-hand side. I know it. But not that far, Okonkwo. Just a bit too much of a dive. Now Clifford, good penalty taker. Got a hat-trick with a penalty, and it's saved by Bilson. Oh dear, Ben Sheaf up next. He's going left. He's not, he's off to space. As Alfie McCalmont is up next. What can I do with the penalty kick right here? I'm going to gamble down the middle. Panenkered it. Brilliant stuff from Alfie McCalmont, as this is for the win. Matson against Okonkwo, and it's off the crossbar. Penalties are won. We took it all the way to extra time, but it's nice for Okonkwo to be the hero. I don't think I will be charging out like that. But we're through to the quarterfinals. We've seen Coventry off on penalties. Job done. It was made harder than we wanted it to be, but we're through alongside Leicester, West Brom, Burnley. Leeds have seen off Liverpool on penalties. Manchester City, Bournemouth and Blackpool. You know who we're getting, don't you? It's going to be Man City. And of course, that is a win, so hopefully turns our form around as matches rescheduled straight away. Yes, we have the cup game today. Blackpool in the next round. I think we've got to play it, although we're not doing the best in the league. I've got to play the cup games. I've got to. It's a chance for another semi-final, which is a chance that can't be passed up on. So, first place Liverpool. We are at home, is going to have to be simulated with the strongest team, which we are going to switch to right here. Still quite tired. I expect to be beaten even if we do play them. I'd rather risk Liverpool than risk the cup, even though it's against Blackpool. And Blackpool, of course, a pool derby. This is a pool derby as well, Liverpool, I've got to add. Someone commented that in the last video. Yes, I did see it, as they've put a bit of a rotational team around, and they're quite tired. They should be tired from penalties against Leeds, so it's kind of added up a little bit. Don't expect anything, but we get a point against Liverpool, and that is huge. I'll take that from a simulation. Tielemans, Chukwuemeka with ours, but Tielemans gets his brace, and the 89th minute at home at the Memorial. That must have been scenes, as Kai Clifford salvages a draw. And of course, with it being a quarter-final, this next game is on a weekend, so we can play as strong as a team as we like, which is good stuff. And this is the team we're going to take to Blackpool. Yeah, fully fit, but I'm still going to keep those rotations in there. 4 of them in fact, one from each line of the field. Starting with goalkeeper Conquo. We're going to go with Hoover. Bateman's still in there. He played actually very well against Coventry, with Staunton, Knight and Clifford still there after his last-minute equaliser. Chukwuemeka, Hayward and Beltran, so 2 attacking and 1 defensive midfielder, who did score a brace against Leicester, so not too defensive, with Pedro in striker alongside Tamas Kiss. Going to Blackpool, or I think they're coming to us, aren't they? Yes, they're coming to us. They'll be up for it. They want a trip to Wembley, but we want our second in 2 years. And Blackpool's team, you can see they made it a tough atmosphere with the fans they brought. Chris Maxwell in goal. Jordan Lawrence Gabriel, Ollie Cassie, Jordan Thornley and Reece James at left back. Josh Bowler, Matty Virtue, Lavery and Antwi, with Sabula and Jerry Yates up front. I think I've got that Yates right. Had Ryan in my Nottingham Forest career early on in this year, and I could never get them the right way round, as hopefully we get this result the right way round, and we do absolutely hammer Blackpool. That's what I'd love. Take plenty of confidence with this team into the next round, as Kijana starting off with a cross and a good clearance only as far as Kai Clifford. Header straight into Chukwuemeka round the corner. Good ball to Tamas, who's going to shoot, and Maxwell with a good save. Unlucky from him, but we still do keep the ball. Kijana into Hayward. Beltran, heavy touch, but does clip it out to Kai Clifford right here. We're going to try and pass the ball, not cross it, unless Pedro's in the middle, which he isn't, as Kai Clifford does receive it. Pedro on the edge. First time hit that. What an absolute spoon. And Connor Lavery, Antwi, now Sabula has it out wide, as Blackpool, are they going to get their chances? I'm guessing they might do, but Beltran with a good tackle. No team comes this far in the competition not to actually compete in a game, as Lavery through to Sabula, has the run around him, still got the ball, edge of the box, Connor Lavery at Okonkwo, under a little bit of pressure, but not too much, we could handle it. It was straight down the keeper's throat in the end, as Tamas Kiss into Pedro. Chukwuemeka round. They tried to put a rough tackle in. Chukwuemeka tries to squeeze it past Maxwell, but he's made another save. That's my namesake, as we're going to cross this one more in towards the middle of the box instead of the front post, as Pedro wins it. And Maxwell with another poke. It had some power beneath that as well. Going to try the same again. Pedro just peels off his defender. That's a good ball. It's off the line from Reece James. Now we're doing well. No one can keep up with Pedro in the box. Guess we've just got to keep on winning corners, as Pedro has it again. Tamas in front of him. Chukwuemeka now finds Clifford out wide. Can he cross that back into Chukwuemeka? Speak of a bicycle kick. Speak of a bicycle kick, deja vu. The same time last year in the game against Everton, Tamas Kiss did it. Chukwuemeka is the man to do it this season. He scores an overhead kick against Blackpool. Yeah, sure, it wasn't as clean as Tamas's, but he got over it. Oh, it might have actually been cleaner. Bottom bins, 1-0 against Blackpool. And another bicycle. Just another one. Absolutely filthy, as now Kai Clifford goes backwards into Josh Knight. That was a dodgy pass, but it has worked out. Let's get the confidence flowing against Blackpool. They've got to come out with their shell, so let's try and make it 2, shall we? Kai Clifford put a good ball into the box, and that's another good one. Pedro can't turn in time. Tamas hits the defender. Doing very well in this one, as Yates, I'm going to say James there, puts the ball out to Josh Bowler. This is James. Puts it back onto Bowler just before half-time. Blackpool, of course, taking one of their rare attacks they have, and it's always Lavery shooting, and this time he's testing Okonkwo, as it's a corner to Blackpool. Can we try and keep this out of the box? Tangerines on one right here, straight to the front post, and Beltran puts all the power in the world behind that one, as it is a 1-0 at the break. I'll take that. A tight affair, but it's going to be, isn't it? It's the 5th round or 6th round. Don't know which round it actually is. All I do know is the next round is the quarterfinals. Don't think it's at Wembley actually, the next round, is it? I'm not too sure, as Pedro puts a ball around the corner. Hayward. We can hope Man City's knocked out as well in this round. That would be a big favour done. We've took the goal scorer off. He did get that overhead kick, but I want to put Matt O'Reilly on. He's the rotational player, as Beltran finds Pedro over the top. He's onside, is Pedro. He's got the man at the side of him. And Tamas, that should be us at Wembley. Kiss with an easy tap in. The kiss of death for Blackpool. And we hold the 2-0 lead. Brilliant stuff, and as easy as you like, just across the box. Defending his paw, no one kept up with him, and he punishes. Good stuff, as now they're going to come at us a little bit. Kijana dealt with right there. Hayward, Beltran with a pass forward. I still do feel like there's more goals in this for us, actually, as Jensen Hayward is threaded through. Not got much pace left in the tank, but if he can time that cross, which he tried to do, and I think Reece James has handled it, we do get a free kick, and I don't think it's a shooting one. We'll pass this short onto Josh Knight. Edge of the box for Ezra Bateman, who stung the keeper's gloves. Maxwell, the centre-back, with that shot. Very decent strike as Jerry Yates. I want a clean sheet in this round. I don't think we've had one in the FA Cup, have we? No, Reading wasn't a clean sheet. I can't remember who we played after that, but I don't think it was. As Staunton puts that behind for a corner ball to Blackpool. Can they do what we've done from corners and actually threaten? As Basui, you can see there, has come on for Kiss, and that is a poor corner. Very, very poor. And Thornley with a pass through the middle onto Hamilton here as Lavery tried to turn Matt O'Reilly onto Hayward. Now Beltran can't get past his man, and that passes through to Josh Bowler now. Through again. Buckley, how's it squeezed through? That's the clean sheet gone again. You can see Okonkwo was furious. This time it's really not his fault, but the defence in front of him who just let him go through. How's he squeezed through that? The number 2, it's poor. It's Ezra Batesman, I think, who'll get shoved off. Well, actually, I don't think it was. I think it was number 20, who is Josh Knight. Buckley does get his goal as there's 3 minutes added on, and Blackpool have the ball back again. Lavery onto Jerry Yates. Are they going to try and contest this late on? I mean, it's good for the neutral, but Beltran sees that off. Pedro puts that over the top for Ivis Basui. Reece James has had a very, very comfortable game here, but not enough. You can hear the scream from the fans. We see Blackpool off 2-1, and we are through for the second season in a row to Wembley Stadium. Yep, that is the case. Us and Burnley are the teams through so far. I won't mind Burnley at Wembley, you know, as Manchester City and Leeds United, or Leicester. Manchester City and Leicester. Hope both of them two lose. Great performance, as we still do have a game to bloody simulate today. That extra time's took this video very long, as we get tournament prize money. No rescheduled game just yet. Seems like the other cup finals haven't been played. I can't wait till it comes through. This player's on international duty. Don't really care about that. And we've gone back to the team that got a point against Liverpool for this game against Liverpool's rivals Everton at home. Simulate this straight away. Please get a result. Oh dear. 3-0 defeat. Zielinski, Blanco with a brace. I mean, we're going far in the FA Cup, but still focus on the league form. That's what we didn't do last season. And that drops us down actually to 12th, as Leeds United and Crystal Palace have both 2 games in hand. But has this cup game been put through? Of course it is. Manchester City in 2 episodes' time, I think. Or, no, next episode. We've got Newcastle, which is the derby, Tottenham, Chelsea, and Manchester City. It's going to be a difficult end to the season, I feel like. Very difficult. We're 12th in the league, though. That is a big drop-off. That is a very worrying big drop-off, as 45 points is what Man United are on. We're 8 points behind that. The draws have done us in, as this is the end of the episode. We've got to focus on the cup a little bit now if we want to try and get into Europe. As thank you guys for watching this episode right here. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe with the notification bell on down below. Everything is right there so you can get it done. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for the next one. Take care. In a bit. Wembley again. And peace.